Welcome to the Ultimate Career Planning Series. This is going to be a series of videos that is going to ultimately help you plan your career in the most effective and in the most positive way. Why am I saying this? Because as I said, this is just not going to be one video, but these are going to be a series of videos that are really focused and targeted to help you to plan and advance in your career. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Karthik. Welcome to Enriching Beliefs. As I said, then this is going to be a series of videos. All right. So the first part of this series, so the big series is career planning. So that's the ultimate goal of creating the series. And the sub part to this is how do you turn on your self-starter potential, or as I say, the self-leadership potential. All right, so each and everyone has this self-starter or self-leader in us, but how do you turn it on? So that is going to be the focus of this sub-series. And in this video specifically, I'm just going to be talking about who is a self-starter and what are the characteristics of a self-starter. All right, so let's get started on this. First one, who is a self-starter? Or rather, how the way I call it in my courses and coaching is, who is a self-leader? All right, let's understand that someone who works without supervision, who knows really how he or she can manage himself or herself. That is the first thing when it comes to being a self-starter. And the second thing is takes initiative on their own. These are people who do not need to be told what they have to do or what they have to come up with, because they can take the initiatives and get started on their own without waiting for permissions or anything of that sort. So this is a self-starter or a self-leader. So now how do you become this person who has this kind of a self-starter potential? If you have to become someone, not physically, but at least if you have to imbibe the qualities, the first thing you have to do is to understand the characteristics of this person or this persona, if you want to call it that way. So let's understand what are the characteristics of a self-starter so that you can start learning or imbibing these qualities in you. All right. The first one, even before we get started on this, let's understand what are those core beliefs that a self-leader or a self-starter has. The core belief is that anyone is capable of changing things and having an impact. So these are the core beliefs, because once you have these core values and belief systems, then taking action or becoming that person becomes that much more easy. All right, so anyone is capable of changing things and having an impact. This is the core belief. And the second core belief is, if right set of actions are taken, the current state can be improved in one's career, life, and relationship. If you totally agree to this, or if you totally get this point that your life, your career, your leadership is your responsibility, do leave a comment and let me know what you think about it. Do you think your career is your responsibility? At least self-starters and self-leaders think that way. But do you think? So do leave me a comment or give me a like if you like this statement. All right, so with this core belief, let's understand the characteristics. And again, just to repeat so that you totally get this, you understand certain characteristics because you want to build those characteristics for yourself. All right, let's see now the characteristics of a self-starter or a self-leader. First one being, they stay responsible for their own happiness and success. This was the first thing which I told you, and I really want you to leave a comment and let me know if you think the same. All right, because once you write certain things down, it really gets into your brain, and that's the seeding for you to take action. And what will happen if you're someone who constantly takes responsibility for your own happiness and success? The thing is, you will see that life becomes more rewarding and successful. You will once you take responsibility, you will automatically take action, and once you take action, you will get result. The result can be a positive or a negative one, that doesn't matter. But once you start getting results, that's when you can fine tune, course correct, and keep moving forward. All right, so that's the first characteristic. Let's look at the second one. They exhibit critical thinking skills. And what results because of this? Recognize and solve problems and streamline workflows. So if you can totally relate to this, that it's because of your capability to solve a problem, it can be for yourself or for others, that is when you can actually create an impact in your organization, in your life, or in your relationship. Because you have this ability, or you self start and start thinking critically, right? So that's the second characteristic. The third one being actively use creativity. If you're someone who has been ignoring this aspect of, or this aspect of yourself, the creative aspect, I think it's really important that you get started on this one. And what is the result? If you become creative, become a solution provider, you can constantly think of, how do I solve this problem, how can I make an impact in this area, and that makes you more and more creative. All right, that's the third characteristic. The fourth one being motivated. And what happens when a self starter or someone stays motivated? They can take action without being prompted. So now, genuinely, if you think that you get pushed a lot by your boss or by your peers to do certain things on your own, just leave a comment or give me a smiley in the chat box and just let me know, because I used to be that person who used to always get reminders to complete the stuff and things, until I got to know the characteristics of a self starter or a self leader. All right, so do leave me a comment. And the result of being motivated, that you will have that positive energy to complete a task or to achieve a goal. As simple as that, right? People who stay motivated for long enough, let's understand one thing clearly. Motivation is something that anyone can have, but the question is not about if you can get motivated. That's not the question you need to be asking. The question you need to be asking is, can you stay motivated? The longer you can be in that kind of a zone, the more productive, the more result oriented your actions are going to be. All right, so that's the fourth characteristic. The fifth one being confident. Why is it important? Because when you are confident, you trust your intuition, and that results in more action. You have an intuition, you believe that, and you go about taking those actions, right? And also you have that confidence in your own action or activities that you do. Makes them to complete tasks without unnecessary deliberation. You just saw that before as well. uh, Without someone asking you or persuading you, you take up that initiative, because you understand the big picture, and or at least you're someone who wants to just explore and do things. Because you're confident, you try out new things, you explore. It doesn't matter, you're not really focused on the result, but you're more happy exploring those stuff. All right, so probably you just came into this video because you wanted to explore what is this concept of how do I plan my career the right way, how do I become this kind of a self starter or a self leader, how do I up or increase that potential. So probably you're also trying that out now, which probably shows that you have that intuition and you're listening to that. All right, so thanks for that. Optimize their effectiveness for the organization. So since this is more oriented towards the career planning and stuff, so if you're more confident, you will optimize your effectiveness for the organization. How do you do it? Well, because you understand the bigger goals of the organization, and therefore you'll optimize your effectiveness towards that problem, that the bigger problem that your organization is trying to solve. All right, so that's the fifth one, being confident. Sixth one, being resilient. What happens when you're resilient? You can move past difficulties and find solution while remaining focused. Very important. Analyze problems and know how to move past difficulties. Right? It's not how do you move past difficulties, because you have the capability to analyze the problem. And why is resilience important? Because every problem cannot be solved just by looking at it. You need analysis at different levels. Certain things need the superficial analysis to solve it. Some you have to go deeper, some you have to go much deeper. And because you have that resilience to go deeper into the problem, you can have much better solutions. Or let's find alternative solutions while remaining focused. Sometimes you need not really have to be creative to find a solution. You just have to see if the solution already exists, isn't it? You just really don't have to reinvent the wheel all the time. All you have to see, look in the right direction so that you can recognize that the solution already exists. Just reuse that, so that you can save your time and save your energy. And being resilient means that you are also going to be proactive in the search for a solution. Well, so as I said, it's about the sustainability factor. Motivation everyone will have, the urge to solve a problem everyone will have, but are you resilient in that? That's what makes you a self-starter or a self-leader. The next characteristic is being proactive, not being reactive. You have to react to situations, but if you can be proactive, you can stop certain things which do not give you pleasant experience at the first place itself. And if you're proactive, you'll be asking questions like, how can I improve the situation? This can teach, can this teach me to be more successful in the future? So being proactive, proactive with respect to preventing problems, proactive with respect to understanding how to stop certain thing which has already occurred in the future. All these things can happen when you have this kind of a quality or characteristic. All right, the eighth one being responsible. And the result of being responsible, you obviously start showcasing that accountability to your actions. And people who have this quality, they stay invested to ensure tasks get completed successfully. Instead of waiting for the change to happen, they initiate the change. Self-starters affect positive change in the world around them. That's what can being responsible result in. All right. So this is the first part of this sub series of the bigger career planning series, and I have lots of other videos also planned. So I would really want you to subscribe and like this channel and turn on the notification, so that uh, periodically I'll be releasing all this video, so that you can really get you don't miss out the series and have the flow, so that you can connect your dots and plan your career in a much effective way. All right, so the few action steps for you. So I just want you to take a moment to know how you show up at work. All right, I just want you to self-evaluate and look at these characteristics and maybe give yourself a rating out of 10 for each of these qualities. Just a self-rating to know where you are now, or so that you know which are those qualities that you want to work more on. And don't forget to subscribe and like. And if you are really able to connect with this, with these series that I just spoke about, or the career planning aspects as such, I will also leave a link to my private FB group, where I'll be sharing more kind of a challenges and routines and practices that you can get started on immediately. All right, so do check out those links and join. And I really want to thank you for watching this video till this moment. And if you're still watching it, I know that you are very serious about planning your career in the best possible way, and I would be so happy to share all this research material with you to help you in that cause. Again, thank you so much. Let's catch up in the next video. Till then, keep working on yourself and keep improving. All the best.